much more easily than a regular orange, but you still get that orange pith under your thumbnail. Your hands smell like orange all day, which is not necessarily a problem. It's a very pleasant smell, but I'd rather they smell like, soap or like neutral. They need to start making peelless, seedless, peelless mandarin oranges. Oh, man. Pre-peeled mandarin oranges. Let me guess, Peloton music wasn't so good today? That's like saying, let me guess, the speed of acceleration due to gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared. It's never good. There's like 4 Peloton rides out of 303 that I've taken where I've been like, that was a good playlist. And then, because when a treadmill loses power instantly, that's very annoying. Because you're like in the middle of the treadmill, and then a millisecond later, your torso's colliding with the control panel. Anyway. I know I've said this before. I'm just getting. We're going to start with React Court, by the way. I've said this before. If you got jacked using a stationary bicycle before they had electricity, they should study your brain. Medical scientists should study your brain to learn about the science of motivation. Because if you were a professional athlete and you were just using one of those fucking, like a word, and it's not even her nephew anyway. So now it's a toss-up. I mean, sure, this is a serious issue. I understand it's a serious adult issue with adult consequences. That's no reason to use a word as loaded as the F word. I don't even want to say it myself personally. Like that word, it carries a lot of power. I would only use that in serious situations, like maybe like a stand-up comedy routine, or when my favorite NHL team has set a new NHL record by blowing a multiple goal lead in 4 consecutive games to start the season. But I chose to be effing petty just to prove a point. I said that wasn't true and told him to get over himself and stop acting like he's the victim when he put himself in this situation knowing he wouldn't commit. He wouldn't commit. He and I have 4 kids, 14F and 14M, 12 male and 11F. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people out there are just built different. You had your first kids at age 23. They were twins. About a year later, you said, yeah, I'll re-up on that. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? You didn't want to just get like a couple extra years to really get a handle on it, on things? You were like roughly 12 months after having twins. You're like, yeah, I could, you know what? I'll buy into this. I'll re-up. No doubt about it. Sign me up. And then a year at, like, listen, 4, one set of them is twins, fair enough. But 4 kids, I told my daughter to go to a room, that sat down with my son to see if he was okay. Apparently, I'm already so confused. Apparently, the boy she bullied was a close friend of his, one of his football teammates. The boy was talking to my son and their other friends and said something about how he thought it was cool that some men used to wear sports crop tops. The boys told him if he thought it was cool, he should try it. The boys went out and bought some jerseys from the thrift store and made them into crop tops. Just boys being dudes. Just me and my high school friends going out to the thrift store, buying some sports jerseys, turning them into crop tops, wearing them to school. Me showing off being the only 10th grader in the whole school who has hair on his belly button. I then spoke to my daughter. She didn't show much remorse and was dismissive of me. Last year, she also got in trouble for bullying someone because of clothing. She's also gotten in trouble for racism at school? What the hell, man? That's like, all the crop top stuff is pretty bad, but like you were really burying the lead on this one. When my wife got home, we discussed a punishment and agreed on her not buying new clothes for a while. She has plenty of good clothes already. The worst punishment of all time? You were racist at school. We're not going to let you buy new clothes. This weekend, we went to visit my brother. My brother lives around 3 hours away in a small town. We don't see him often. This week, our 12-year-old got some plushies and toys, and our youngest was looking at video games. So, a word problem. Our oldest daughter went to the clothes. I stopped her, told her the rule was still in place. I said, hey, listen, don't you remember how you were so racist? I won't let you buy clothes. That being said, if you want books, a video game, candy, or etc., that's totally fine. That's completely acceptable. But clothes are the one thing you cannot get. She was bugging my wife, and my wife eventually told her she would reconsider it. She then talked to me, and I told her that I wasn't changing my stance because I'm letting her buy other stuff, and I thought she was being entitled. My daughter didn't buy anything, and my wife thinks I was too tough on her. Are you crazy? I love this is framed as if like I'm kind of a hard ass gallivanting on a mountain and didn't leave his route and having to have the sheriff go look for him in hopes they might find him. Fortunately, he did, and it was a very awkward 30-minute snowmobile ride down the mountain for my husband because the sheriff drove the point home just how much of an idiot he was by not telling him that I was recovering from food poisoning until they got to the parking lot and would be okay. He made sure my husband suffered from the worry. Women go missing at the park and ride locations late at night. For a husband to not be reachable to that extent is beyond ridiculous. What? And that's why you never fall asleep or go on a hike ever. I don't even understand the user received Reddit Galaxy for this post. I don't understand the problem. Husband, the wife was going to be okay. Let the husband panic for a half hour. 3,000 sociopaths. Hey, your wife is really ill. Here's the town sheriff on a snowmobile all the way up the mountain to come get you. It's an emergency. Is she going to be okay? Why don't you just hop on, shitbag? Bet you're really happy you went gallivanting on the mountain today. You just had to go mountaineering, didn't you? Just had to go mountaineering. Well, do you ever know what happens to kids when they lose their mother? Oh, yeah, she's going to be fine. Anyway, she's in room 36B. It's like, if this actually happened, this is crazy. Right. Does sending the sheriff out to fetch the husband of a woman who isn't in critical condition sound like a good use of resources? Have you ever truly had food poisoning? It's my time. It's my time. At 6 months pregnant, it's a big deal, and OP was likely in the hospital. The husband needed to be there in case it took a turn for the worse to make medical decisions. Okay, internet, make up your mind. Is food poisoning not serious at all, or do you need to have 24-hour medical supervision in case we need to figure out if you're going to do a do not resuscitate order? Make up your mind. Because when I'm like, hey, if I didn't get that, I had to fight tooth and nail to get 12 antibiotic capsules. And if I didn't have them, I probably would have been dead by now due to sepsis or something. People are like, yeah, sure. I stubbed my toe once. I know what it's like. Or is it the sort of thing where it's an immediate emergency at all times? I get that she's pregnant. Oh, so if I had been pregnant, you guys would have more sympathy? It's a bit of a double standard, don't you think? Refusing to elaborate and moving on. I'm just saying if the wrong... You're both insane. You're having an argument over pizza like you're in the 6th grade or something like that. Am I the asshole for sometimes hanging out in states of undress with my boyfriend's roommate? Come on. Come on! With your boyfriend's roommate? I'm pretty much a practical nudist. You know what? That seems like a pretty impractical thing to be in the adult world. Like on the weekends, sure. But like the rest of the time, I think you've got to... I would say you're an impractical nudist if it leads to situations like this. A practical nudist maybe at a shower. I explicitly checked with the roommate that this was okay and he didn't mind. Unfortunately, now he has a new jealous girlfriend who doesn't hang out with us sometimes, but she still feels like she needs to police what I'm wearing in the apartment of my boyfriend. We got into a bit of a stupid text message exchange when she found out, and she's clearly jealous and insecure. It doesn't help her self-esteem, I guess, that 9 times out of 10 people, that 9 times out of 10 people are going to say I'm the hotter person. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all that. I'm not self-centered. It's purely a comfort thing. It's not remotely sexual for me, so I think I'm in the right holding my stance here. Am I the asshole? Edit. I would cover up if she was around for sure. I don't intend to make anyone uncomfortable. That was said in the beginning. Well, but you are making her uncomfortable. Intentionally. And then you're suggesting it's because you're more attractive than she is. You're really just, the edit is just a lie. I get that, like, you wish it was true. But at the same time, I don't understand. Yes, you're the asshole. Again, I kind of feel like we don't need to read the comments on this because it's like cut and dry. I hate to say this, okay? I'm not a nudist. If anything, I'm a never nude. At the same time, though, if you're a nudist, don't you sort of have to... It's like smoking, right? It's one of those things where if one person in a room is like, please don't, then you have to respect that and go outside. It's not a democracy thing where it's like, oh, 7 people said it's fine if I'm naked, 3 people have a problem, so I'm just going to send it. I think it's one of those ones that, like, if even a single person has a problem with it, you've got to say, okay, fine, I'll wear clothes. I'm not judging your lifestyle, by the way. I'm just, and honestly, I genuinely don't care. If I was in a room and someone was like, hey, do you mind if I take off all my clothes? I would be like, you gotta do right by you, brother, sister, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna be looking at my phone 90% of the time anyway. But I do think it's one of those things where, like, if even one person has a problem with it, then you're like, okay, I'm just going to wear, like, not to be judgmental, I'm just going to dress like a normal person. Public got it. When I go over to other people's houses, I don't strip down to just a tank top and panties. I'm also not about to ask the other people I'm visiting, hey, mind if I take off my clothes and lounge around in your furniture like a cat? I promise I'm not vain. It's just a comfort thing. I hope your boyfriend's roomie gets a girlfriend that's hotter than you and she likes to walk around naked. I'm far from a prude. If you were at a nude beach, go for it. But you seem to be really into the idea that you're so much hotter than this dude's girlfriend, and she's obviously super jealous of you. Meanwhile, she likes to think that you're a strange little creature with no social skills who likes to parade about in a small cloth, much like Golem. You're the asshole. I love when people use "you're the asshole" like an easy clap emoji, much like Gollum. So true. Anyway, they're 100% right in their comment, in my opinion, but still. It's the QED of Reddit. Again, I'm not anti-nudist, but this is why, like, if you're a nudist, you have to, if that's the foundational element of your personality, nobody's like running solo as a nudist, right? They're living in nudist colonies. That's why they call them that. You have to find other people who are like, okay, I'm all right with you being nude 100% of the time. And then you go, just live your life together nakedly, which is completely fine, by the way. Ricky. Is this a Daniel raid? Ricky, don't lose that number. You don't want to call nobody else. Hey, 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 hey. Send it all in a letter to yourself. Dum chicka dum dum chicka tick dum dum. Ricky, don't lose that number. It's the only. Okay, great song, great band, Steely Dan. Are you more of a Steely or a Dan guy? I think I'm a Dan guy, honestly. Who sings Dirty Work? Steely Dan versus U2. I mean, I like U2 more than the average millennial, and I would say it's not even close. Steely Dan has, they're the number one with a bullet, a loaded God complex beast or anything, but a little chubby, yeah. I knew if I told her this directly, she'd probably get upset. So I asked her in response, do you want my honest opinion? She said she did, so I gave it. My exact words were, I'd like to preface this by saying that this in no way affects how I view you as a person. I don't think that weight is a good measure of who someone is. That being said, a little bit, yes. Ooh. No, no. Oh, no. That's so much worse. When you ask, do you think I'm fat? And they reply, just so you know, what I'm about to say doesn't mean I think any less of you as a person. You could have just said yes. That wouldn't have been as bad as prefacing it with this bizarre disclaimer. That's madness, man. You want to talk about radical honesty? My God. My God, Niles. Hey, what's the name of that ice cream? But it's like Neapolitan, but it has pistachio in it. What's it called again? Just someone's gonna know this. It's the ice cream they serve at the old spaghetti factory. Spumoni. My God, Niles! You're nuttier than the green part of Spumoni ice cream. Frasier, you're as nutty as the green part of Spumoni ice cream. Don't worry about her, Frasier. This is Daphne. Don't worry about her, Frasier. She's nuttier than that green part of Spumoni ice cream. So I'm trying to, I can get it to work. This is how, Frasier, this is Roz. Come on, Frasier. She's nuttier than the green part of Spumoni ice cream. Obviously, by the way, it does bother him. Like, this is the foundation of being a young man, at least in my experience, having gone through it myself. You're like, I'm a pillar of individualism. I live according to a set of principles that I design, and then immediately after doing it, you feel bad and you run to the internet for validation. And you're just like, hey, anyone else as insane as me? Can anyone else validate my insane behavior? And yet still let me feel as if I'm a paragon of individualistic virtue? Like, it's just lie, man. I don't understand. You still do it today? I know! Plus to me! I've gone to other impartial friends to get their opinions, and they've been pretty split, so I'm asking Reddit, am I the asshole? Yes, obviously. Like, I just don't understand why. Why are you trying to, like, what are you trying to do, I guess? That's kind of an incredible post. I'm sorry. Not the asshole you asked, and she said yes. People need to really stop asking questions they don't want the answer to now. She's hurt her own feelings. People will really be like, I never tell a lie until they get asked, like, why didn't you do something you were supposed to do? And then what they should say if they're into radical honesty is, I didn't really make it a priority. I didn't really want to do it. Instead, they start spinning excuses. Oh, well, yesterday I did this instead, and I didn't. Honestly, I don't even think that we should have to do the dishes. I think we should just start eating off of disposable plates and cutlery all the time. I'm radical honesty, by the way. You mentioned that my car was in a secured lot and we wouldn't be far, but I lost my cool, which I admit was not the best way to go about things, and told her, you don't go out in the city. There is crime all over the place. She responded that we were in the city. I went off about how I can't stand it here. So she said that we'll just leave. No raising of her voice. She just said she was fine with leaving. She was silent on the way back, and I suggested we go back to my place to finish out the night. And she refused. This also pissed me off, because I asked what was wrong with the bar next to my apartment, and she shut that down with her short responses. Overall, the night cost sanest boyfriend. Overall, the night cost me $300. And while she's saying more to me now as opposed to Friday night, she's still being very distant. She told me she could live with not going to the meet and greet, except for how things turned out afterwards, and that is My response was that I was bringing her to the concert nowhere else and thinking of her safety. She continued that I shouldn't have bought the tickets if I was only tolerating doing so. Very true, very true. I do accept I've made some mistakes, chiefly with us missing the meet and greet. The timing of the concert should have made this an unforgettable experience as her grandma just died in my yes. Oh, man. Directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah, you're the asshole. Also, like, it honestly, you sound like, you wrote the post, and it sounds like your girlfriend is a saint. Because, like, you messed up and caused her to miss the meet and greet. Told her there wasn't a chance you'd do something else when she was trying to salvage some measure of specialness out of a ruined night. You acted like a petulant child when she said she didn't want to go to the bar near your apartment, which isn't exactly a special or memorable thing to do if you go there all the time. And finally, you misrepresented the whole thing is now about you not being sufficiently enthusiastic about the band. Info, was it Imagine Dragons? Because if so, not the asshole. If it was another band, almost anybody, even if it was Broke Inside, you should just tolerate it. If it was Imagine Dragons, I can understand your hesitancy. If it's Hatsune Miku, listen, that's why I feel like I'm so able to comment on stuff like this. I took my wife to a Hatsune Miku concert. It was a 3-hour drive and an international border away. We had to get a hotel room, more than the average concert. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say we're the only considerate people there, because there were other considerate people there. There were people that brought their kids there and stuff like that, but there were also a lot of young people with huge backpacks going, whoa! Anyway, what songs did they sing? She did the one that goes like, beep papa beep papa beep beep papa boop papa beep papa beep papa beep papa boop papa boop. You know that one? Seabed? Certified banger. That's a classic. You know the one where she starts going off like Twista in slow jams? That one? Yes, it's on my sex playlist. The mom did not give clear instructions. If the dishwasher runs and a dish comes out that's still dirty, what did the mom want her to do? She got mad at her for putting it in the sink. What I would do is when something's dirty and it's in the dishwasher, I run it. If it is still dirty, I leave it in the dishwasher and run it one more time on the next cycle. If it's still dirty, I throw it in the garbage can. That shit's never getting clean. It had 2 chances. It let me down twice. Happy birthday to the ground. Maybe clean it by hand. Well, the thing is, I've done it enough that now everything, all the other dishes are on notice, so they get clean in the dishwasher. I just want to add some clarity to my point of view. It's not that I don't want to pay my share. It's just a bit suffocating when it's 95% of my savings. Perhaps agreeing on a payment plan between us could be an option. How to know, without being rude, how to know your relationship is in trouble. Is it possible we could come up with some sort of payment plan where I could give my fiance a stipend every month? What kind of interest rate do you think your fiance is going to give you on that loan? You think she's going to give you like prime -2? That's a sweetheart rate. A lot of people would say 0. I don't think that's realistic in today's environment, honestly. I think prime -2. Prime +1? Was she the mafia? Edit. Sorry. I guess I unfairly took it to mean that either have to wait years for him to catch up or leave him with zero savings. For the first several years of our marriage, we paid into shared expenses in proportion to our earnings. And yes, that means I often paid two-thirds of our expenses and he picked up the remaining one-third. We've readjusted over the years as his income has started to catch up with mine. I never wanted to have him feeling like he doesn't have the wiggle room to grab a beer with friends or enjoy a new video game, especially when I have funds for large indulgences like girls' weekends. My credit card statement looks like this. $60 Steam, FIFA 23. So hers can look like this. First class flight, Newark to Las Vegas, 4 days stay at the Paris Hotel and Resort, $350 bottle service at Cosmopolitan Hotel Las Vegas. Uber. Sorry. True, but also based. She's girl bossing. It was nice that she still left him with enough money to buy some video games, okay? Okay, I had 16 beats. Times 4. 60 wrestling heart rate 64 when I was amped up. I'm feeling like Pierce Brosnan from Die Another Day. Holy cow, dude, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Because that's the way the heart works, right? It's like you only get a certain number of beats, like for your life. Like how your Logitech mouse only it's good for like 10 million clicks or something like that. So if you lower your resting heart rate, you've extended the life span of your planned obsolescence. All right, one more quick one. Just a nice round 3 hours react court. Am I the asshole for insulting my brother's fiance the same way she insults others? Bat chest. Sarah has her master's in biology, and intelligence is one of her favorite things to insult people on. Well, after I got a bit drunk, I had enough of it. Angie's one of the sweetest people I've ever met and has never once said a bad thing about Sarah. After Sarah finished one of her insults about Angie being the farthest from traditionally intelligent, I said, is the reason you're insulting Angie here like a coward because she's traditionally beautiful and you're the furthest from it? Sarah is about, Sarah is about 300 pounds and by all regards quite ugly. All right, well that's like, you went in a little hard. This is a massive trigger point for her as well, as I know she has emotional issues surrounding her weight. We got into a fight and I ended up tearing her appearance apart point by point until she was visibly near tears. In the end, I told her I'm only doing exactly what she does when she gossips about people. I only talked about her like this, the way she talks about others, just to her face, unlike her. I think that's a sign that you're a relatively good person who made a mistake, that you feel bad about it afterwards. So that's okay. But you did not insult Sarah the way she insults others, just to be clear. You've drawn a false equivalence. Sarah insults others behind their back. You insulted her to her face. And I'm just being straight up with you. I know a lot of people are like, I would rather get insulted to my face. Nah. I'd rather you keep it to your private Discord chats and your group chats and your DMs and your getting like a little boozy brunch together and like, I didn't know, oh wow, NL's been looking a little tubby lately. I'd rather you do that than say it to my face. I don't want to hear that shit. Absolutely not. I'd rather you place it somewhere that I don't see it, quite frankly. Put it on r/superautopets. Yeah, exactly. So I think you went a little bit higher on the aggression. She was going like 5 minutes from midnight. You were going 2 minutes to midnight. Okay. I hate that because of what Kanye West said. I can no longer say DEF CON. I used to say DEF CON all the time and people knew what I meant. Except sometimes you had to explain that as the DEF CON numbers get lower, you get closer to danger. So you would say like, oh, she went DEF CON 2. And we'd be like, that doesn't sound that bad. I'm like, brother, that's almost the damn worst. But now you can't even say it anymore. He ruined an analogy I've been using for like 10 years. Now I got to use the doomsday clock. And it's, you can't even say 2 minutes to midnight. It's already been taken by Iron Maiden. Anyway, I don't know. Sure, everybody sucks here. That seems fair. Although, I don't know. Like, honestly, listen. This is not going to make me sound like a good person. If someone's gossiping about another person that you like, you don't need to, like, go off on them to their face and, like, tear them down. What would a cool guy do in that situation? He would say, hey, we all love Angie here. Let's not talk about her behind her back. And then try to have a good night. And maybe, like, don't invite her out ever again. Can't you just be like, hey, let's not talk about our friend like that. She's not here to defend herself. That's the way, that should be at least step one. But, like, at the same time, I guess I can't say that everybody doesn't suck here. She did call her the farthest thing from traditionally intelligent. Was that wrong? Was it wrong for her to... Was it wrong for her to call their mutual friend the dictionary definition of stupid? Emblematic of the exact meaning of the phrase dumb as a rock? Was that bad? Was that over the line? Counterpoint, how dumb is Angie? This is an info request. Is she like Jessica Simpson in the Newlyweds dumb? Or is she like Charlie Day in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia dumb? She got a head like a box of rocks? I mean, it's just, it matters. I need to know. Maybe she is. I don't know, man. Anyway, that was fun. It's React Court. Okay, /marker. React Court. That's a long one. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I don't know. We're probably going to do more web browser stuff when we come back. Maybe some Sporcle is my guess. Maybe some Sporcle. For now, I'm going to go piss. I really liked the reaction image someone sent to me, by the way. Hey, stay in the pocket. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. I really liked the reaction image someone sent to me that was XOXO Go Piss Girl. And I'll see you in 2 minutes. Hold on. My reaction when Roddy introduces the first prize on The Price is Right. Pause, champ. My reaction when Roddy introduces the second prize and it's a dining table set, and I think that that's good enough, so they're not going to give me a third prize. That's Sag. Then my reaction when he spins me a story about how I will love to sit down on those bar stools after I get out of my new car. Bad chest. Fat chest, a base model Chevy Malibu rear wheel drive, manual transmission, California emissions tested Chevy. That's crazy. I was on Let's Make a Deal. I was the only member of the COVID limited audience not called up. That's a huge slap in the damn face. They should have at least let you pick one of the doors. Is Let's Make a Deal the one is hosted by Wayne Brady now? I bet that's a fun taping. Couple of game shows, couple of activities, Wayne Brady working the crowd. I bet it's not a bad way to spend an afternoon. Okay, I have to change my game name to Sporcle. Phoenix is probably, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Never seen any of them, to be fair. Okay, what movie has the best IMDb rating? With God as my witness, I think I have 100 in me somewhere. Barbie of Swan Lake. Okay, it's not going to be this one. Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses or Barbie as the Island Princess. I'm going to say Barbie of Swan Lake. No, 12 Dancing Princesses. Urban Legend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, or Scream 3. I Know What You Did Last Summer loses to all the other Screams, but I think it beats Scream 3. Urban Legend, nobody talks about anymore. Toy Story 4, 3, or 2. God is my witness, I think Toy Story 3. Gladiator, Master and Roman. It's Roman. This is Gladiator. This is, okay, I saw in chat. This one's Rain Man. This one I have no idea. Bumblebee. Did Bumblebee with John Cena win Best Picture? And this, I don't know, someone said Brokeback Mountain. That seems like it's probably Brokeback Mountain. That's Rocky? That's fucking Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle, man. You didn't type anything? Yeah, because I know that B-movie and Bumblebee didn't win Best Picture. They're garbage. The Sting, of course. Of course. And Rain Man. Rain Man, of course, made a lot of sense. Celebrities as animals, man. I see no... I mean, it's got to be Stalin as a capybara. The human brain is amazing. This is Oprah as a turtle. I got 100% on the quiz. Crazy. Oh, man. What else you got for me? Celebrities as painted by AI artists. I can do this. This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a film noir. Sorry, Dwayne Johnson. This is Will Smith in a Salvador Dali painting. I'm insane. This is Lionel Messi as a European fresco. Freddie Mercury. This is not Freddie Mercury. Are you Oh, it's IE? Okay. As painted by Egon Schiele. This is Hillary Clinton from My Nightmares. This is my sleep paralysis demon. This is Serena Williams as painted by Vermeer. This is Elon Musk in his own head. Also, is it Elon Musk? Because bottom right is definitely Saul from Better Call Saul. This is Jennifer